This season on Outlaw Country.
You go back historically, this isn't something new. Frank and Jesse James, the Youngers, whether it's robbing trains and stagecoaches, or busting into gun stores and slinging dope.
That's over, Key.
This has always been outlaw country out here.
John and Josh had a personal bitch with Steve and I.
It seems like every time I bring up the Monk brothers, I'm getting a lot of pushback.
Everything that goes down in this burg is not the Monks.
I think you're getting a little out of control on this Monk Brothers deal. Pulled a lot of strings to get this task force here.
It just isn't adding up.
We have identified what could be a third crew.
You may have to keep an eye out since we're the new guys.
Trust nobody.
I'm sick of you being the same old John. I'm gonna tell you who you're gonna hang out with, and if you don't listen to me, I'm gonna go beat somebody up.
Go around my family again, I'm gonna you around, got it? You guys should have my back. We've been there the whole time, dude.
I ain't scared.
I think this should be very interesting.
It truly is straight up documentary.
We're a television crew embedded in small town America, literally in a war zone. I received a phone call from somebody that we work with who said they had a mayor and a police chief that they wanted us to meet in this small town in crisis in middle America, Buckner, Missouri, and it sounded fascinating.
Well, what do you think?
It's come along faster than I thought, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's huge inside. Courtroom, I guess, is gonna be from about over there, them pipes down that way. 2 cells will be in the back. It's a new start for Buckner.
It'll last a long time.
It better. As much money as we're spending on it, it better.
Buckner, Missouri is a small town, but with some really big problems. And in this town, on one side, you have the Monk brothers. The other side, you have the Cook brothers. The Monk brothers are the guys that you feared. Some people might think they're the cool guys. Other people would think they're the guys you certainly want to stay away from.
Hold up, man. Come on.
Then you have the Cook brothers, who are police officers. One is a detective, the other one is the chief of police. So you have these 2 pairs of brothers, and these guys, for well over a decade, have some serious bad blood with each other.
John and Josh have got a personal bitch with Steve and I.
To me, the central question of this documentary is, who do you believe?
Your freaking brother's got a freaking problem, dude.
Well,
He's stirring up a bunch of crap that he can't handle.
Usually you're gonna follow kind of one group or the other, but on Outlaw Country, we have the rare opportunity to follow both sides.
What made Buckner such a problem? What caused the problems in Buckner?
Okay. The crime in and around Buckner, when I took over 4.5 years ago, was a disaster. Let me see your hands. People selling drugs. Everything was just out of control down here. Hey, yes, sir. Hey, man. Don't fairy leave that. They're here. They're there. They're over here. They're coming down here and breaking the law, then they're going back. So we had to get the task force together to chase them down wherever they were. That's the biggest problem that most communities have, is that people come in and just pray and pray and pray and pray on people. If we can't put them in jail, we'll get them out of here. Let them become someone else's problem, not ours.
One of the things I wasn't expecting was how excited people around town were to have cameras on the cops. With so many big stories right now about the behavior of law enforcement, I think people are embracing cameras a little more now.
What are you running for?
You're scared.
So who are you?
My name's Steve Cook. I'm a detective from a nearby town on loan to the Buckner Police Department.
Who are the Monk brothers?
Who are the Monk brothers? The Monk brothers are habitual career criminals, John and Josh Monk. This is John Monk. We always called him Tattoo John. Obviously, the guy's got them all over his face and neck and arms. And Joshua Monk is his little brother. These guys are prolific criminals. They've been in crime as long as I've known them, which has been a pretty extended period of time. In the past, I've caught them involved in dope, aggravated assault, stealing motorcycles, stealing cars. They're both pretty dominating characters.
What is that, man?
That's how we knock when you don't answer the door.
Josh, he'd go out and rip off dope dealers. People were scared. They were scared of him. If he showed up to their house, they'd pretty much give him whatever they had. And John has always been more of a facilitator. He's used his business to that end. They run a tattoo shop up here. It's called Revelation Tattoo. As far as it being a legit business, a typical tattoo you're gonna take an hour to do, and there's way too much 10 and 15-minute traffic in and out the door. I don't wanna say that they're good at it, because I've caught them doing it before, but I would say that they're better than average.
Just gotta watch getting too close to John and Josh too quick. Because if they smell us, it'll be shut down before we start.
In my opinion, the Monk brothers are out of jail. They're breaking the law.
Get the out of this.
Cut the camera. Cut the camera.
Coming up on Outlaw Country.
People are fascinated by outlaw culture. That dual sense of outlaws being outcasts. There's a certain romanticism about all that.
On the Monk brothers side, you know, certain things we were allowed, certain things we weren't allowed. But overall, the Monks gave us access I never would have imagined.
What's the deal with all this, man?
Oh, just this little deal we got going on.
Why are you letting this camera crew come into your life?
Well, I figured if the camera crew comes and spends a little bit of time, then it's gonna show the mayor, it's gonna show, you know, people that are in charge and the general public what cops do.
What's this?
I don't know what that is.
Kind of looks like marijuana to me.
It's not cool to harass people, you know, and to just make up stuff and raid people's houses and raid their shops.
Police search warrant! Everybody up against the wall! Up against the wall! Everybody on the wall!
For what? For what reason? You're always coming up empty-handed. Why are you still doing it? You know, so, I mean, I guess the reason I would let cameras follow me around is to let the freaking truth be exposed.
Tell me about your brother.
My brother's Josh. He's the best guy I know. You know, he's completely did a 180 from, you know, where we came from, the path we were going down, to what he's doing with his life now.
It's no mystery that we were once broken people. I mean, I was a drug addict, a freaking gangster. I spent almost a decade in and out of prison. When I was growing up, dude, all the kids was like, hey, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be this. I knew better, dude. The only thing I ever wanted to be was the toughest guy on the yard in the penitentiary. That's it. Toughest, scariest dude you ever met in your life, dude. That's the only thing I ever wanted to be. I knew I was going to prison, just like everybody in my family. I was raised by criminals and gangsters.
Considering our background and where we came from and the stuff that we were doing back in the day, to even think that somebody that was doing all that stuff is now helping people get clean and changing their lives and getting their families back and just helping them get jobs. It's an inspiration, you know, to people, to have somebody like him that's been through it, done it, and now is helping people get through it.
So people can change.
Absolutely.
Who are you?
My name's Josh Monk, and I'm a pastor here at Maywood Baptist Church, and that's how my life is today, but I'll tell you this now, it ain't always been that way. What do you want to know about?
Well, start at the beginning. What was your childhood like?
Well, I got an older brother named John, and yeah, I mean, our childhoods were rough. I guess you could say when we grew up, we didn't feel very loved.
Remember when we got kicked out of Missouri because nobody freaking wanted us and we had to go live with Dad and he put us down in this freaking, in the basement? It looked just like this.
When we were working on this house, I told somebody that story, and they thought I was kidding.
It wasn't even this big, man.
No, it was smaller than this.
Yeah, remember, we couldn't even stand up.
It's crazy that we made it through that crap, dude. I think the hardest ones were the foster homes. You know, we went from a situation where we didn't feel loved into a situation that was even worse. We went through some stuff that was pretty close to being hell. If you grow up that way, it does something to your insides where you become hard. We've been in and out of foster homes and prisons and jails and institutions and treatment centers and all kinds of stuff. I mean, my brother and I, we went through it together, and now we've came out on the other side. And when I look at my brother now, it's with respect and admiration. That's the story in a nutshell, you know? But again, that's not how it is today.
Can people like that change?
Can people like the Monk brothers change based on their upbringing and who they run with? Sure they can, but will they? It's not for me to judge a man's heart, just his actions.
Coming up on Outlaw Country.
Let's just say they're looking at everybody.
Move!
All right, folks, we're gonna get ready and do this search warrant on Monk's Tattoo Shop. All right, you guys can see by the photographs, you can see the front entrance where the monks are right there, the tattoo shop. That's gonna be our initial point of entry. And it's about a 4-foot high ledge and looking into the tattoo stations.
Not only do Dillman and Fingers know the rule book, on some days you think they wrote it, they came into this task force with an open mind, but also with open ears, and they don't miss a beat. So I think that from their perspective, let's just say they're looking at everybody.
We got company, JD.
Is that?
That's Preacher on the driver. I could have told you how many pimples he had with this thing. Most people describe my law enforcement style as aggressive. I still believe in the code of the West. My hero would be Wild Bill Hickok. Stand up for what you believe in. Don't back down from anything or anyone. If it's life or death, I'd rather die with honor than live a coward's life.
What is a task force?
A task force is normally made up of a multi-agency group of people, whether it's local, state, or federal, it doesn't matter. They are issued credentials, and they are basically sworn federal officers. They're a force multiplier for the federal government, whether it deals with terrorism, violent crime, child pornography, firearms. They're all sworn federal officers, and it works great.
Everybody on the ground! Cover your hands! Don't move!
I got the two in the back. No.
Brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah, it does.
The trick of this show was being able to capture what was going on without interfering with what was going on. The town of Buckner really welcomed us. They were okay with us using their surveillance footage. They were okay with us setting up our own surveillance footage. To us, the access was key. On top of that, we then employed telephoto lenses so that we wouldn't have to interfere as much, and also employed the use of aerials. We have cameras everywhere. Without that, we never would have been able to capture the amazing events we did capture on this show.
In pulling off a documentary like this, a lot of situations are extremely dangerous. It takes a very special team to get the shot and to tell the story.
Yeah.
We just had this fight that went down at the bowling alley. That guy got his nose broke. He got a couple of ribs busted.
You wanted this world. You wanted violence. You wanted to show this world. Here's the world, bro.
There's one person on the set that we literally couldn't do it without. He goes by one name, and that's Chucky. He is our technical advisor. He has lived a life that none of us have lived.
Welcome to my world. See, the problem is these days is these Hollywood guys will come and try to make money off a bunch of stuff and tell what they want to hear and not tell the truth. So that's why I come to the table, because I have the knowledge. I've lived that life. I still live that life to this day. If you're going to tell the story about what you want to call an outlaw, at least tell the truth about it.
That's what happens in real life, right there. People get hurt.
The guys in this TV series are the real deal. They are outlaws, and this music reflects how they live their lives and their core values. I mean, it's grungy, it's gritty, it's not rock and roll, but it's not country.
And I'm on the outside. I'm on the outside.
Do not.
Why are you so pissed off?
I'm sick of being controlled. I'm sick of you being the same old John. I'm gonna run your show. I'm gonna tell you who you're gonna hang out with. And if you don't listen to me, I'm gonna go beat somebody up.
Okay, whatever, man.
Okay?
Whatever, Steph.
Don't come back here. Don't freaking harass my friends.
I'll do whatever I want to do.
Yeah,
like I
we'll
always
see what
do.
happens.
Yeah, we will see what
You
happens.
go ahead and do that.
Another one of your friends gonna get his ass kicked.
It has a message, and the people that listen to it, they receive that well. And it's got that raw, gritty sound to it. It's not happy music. Lyrics that mean something, lyrics that make you believe something, and great country music mixed together. That's Outlaw Country.
I'm on the outside.
People are fascinated by outlaw culture. You know, it's that dual sense of outlaws being outcasts and heavies, and yet there's the other side of that, which is there's a certain romanticism about all that, you know, and then, you know, they find out, as your show will begin to reveal, that it's a different lifestyle, but it's not different humanity. And I think you pull people in with that romantic sort of, oh, every girl loves a bad boy kind of thing, and then you open up this world and they go, oh, these are you know, these are guys like I know. At least on Sons, I think that's what people plugged into. You know, so they'll be able to see that in Outlaw Country. It's like, here's a situation and we had some cameras there, and it went down, man.
From our point of view, to be able to be inside this small town in middle America and really having access to this subculture that you don't get to see every day makes this extremely unique. We wanted to tell a story that was very gritty, but not everything is what you think it might be. We also wanted to show the raw emotion of everybody really involved. These are very personal stories that go back a long ways.
And now, an exclusive sneak peek of Outlaw Country.
How's work going?
It's going. It's rough. Way far too much. I didn't realize why pregnant women waddled until I'm experiencing it now. It's rough. I'm sure you're excited to be a grandpa.
Grandpa John, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if my dad will come visit her.
He doesn't come very often.
Yeah, I doubt it, huh?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Well, I've only met him maybe 3 times.
Yeah. Well, that's about what I met him. I remember the first time I ever met him was him rolling up to the house on his chopper. My mom was sitting on the porch with this other dude, and he beat the guy's face into the steps. I just remember all the blood everywhere. I remember what he said. He came up and said, "That guy was trying to take my place." Yeah, it was the first time I ever met your grandpa.
I never heard that one before.
When you were growing up, you know, I was young, Madison, and, you know, I wasn't there a lot, but I've lived and I've learned a lot of things, and I know I messed up with you. You know, I was young, but with Aspen coming, I'm gonna be the best grandpa that the world's ever seen. I guarantee you. My childhood was rough. You know, like, I'm not gonna be like that. So, you know, I kind of tried to put my past behind me and focus on how to be a man.